Thank you for joining me today for Sunday Conversations. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. All month, our guests will be cancer survivors. Let's get informed through my guest experiences. Sit back, enjoy, and delight yourself with these conversations.
Every day in the United States, over 1,600 people die from cancer. This year alone, 1.8 million people will hear you have cancer for the first time. And today, almost 17 million people have been diagnosed with cancer at one point or another in their lifetime. Since the advent of modern medicine, the search for a cure has dominated research and development. We spend over $150 billion a year on cancer treatments in the United States, which is more than double the average American salary. Some 260 nonprofit organizations in the United States have dedicated themselves to cancer, more than the number established for heart disease, AIDS, Alzheimer's, and stroke combined. The person that we're going to be talking about in this video, from 1891 to 1936, had a higher success rate treating most cancers than we do today.
Good morning. Welcome to Sunday Conversations. I am Minister Isaac. I am back with another great topic. Well, it's the same topic that we're talking about for the entire month of October, which is cancer. And as last week when I told you that we continue to have different guests that have experienced different forms of cancer. So today is a Sunday Conversations first. I got one of my homeboys here with me that just recently experienced prostate cancer. So without further ado, let me introduce my homeboy, Gary. What's up, Gary?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, doing great, man, doing great. So first, before we start, you can introduce yourself to everybody so everybody will know who you are.
Well, my name is Gary Fields. They call me Big Dog. I am a retired Marine that still a federal employee. But like he said, we ride bikes. We got a lot of things in common, and that's where I know Ike from.
Yeah, so Gary and I met, I want to say about 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
it's been 3 years ago. We met with some mutual friends, all out on our hogs, Harley Davidson, and we are there riding. So with that, it's just a natural bond that we built. And the most interesting part about our group that we ride with, everybody is 50 and or older. Mm-hmm. Almost everybody is retired military. I think that there's only about 3 guys we ride with that's not retired.
Really? I thought it. Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
And I think that me and Pope are the only 2 singles. Everybody else is married, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
you know what you got to do with that, right?
Yeah. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. But anyway, Gary just recently went through prostate cancer. So I asked him to come to Sunday Conversations to actually talk about it, because we don't hear men talk about the issues that we have as men when we go through issues. So I want Gary the opportunity to first, Gary. So if you could just start with, how did you find out about having prostate cancer?
Wow, man. Well, the thing is, I had what they call a urethral stricture. And I've had it for years, even during active duty.
Oh, wow.
And the thing is, a urethral stricture gives off the same symptoms of prostate cancer. Mm-hmm. And the doctors and the procedures I had went through, I had to go through a procedure. Every 3 years, my urethra would close up, So they would go in and they do surgery and open it again. And nobody even thought to do any tests to see if it was anything other than urethral stricture.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I ran across, there was a doctor that I ran across for this urethral stricture. Mm-hmm. And he made the suggestion that he wanted to do some tests.
Okay.
And when he did the test, it came back positive.
Wow. And how many years had gone by before a doctor said, well, let's check for this prostate?
Man, I have been dealing with, since I was 38 years old, have been 37 now, have been dealing with a urethral stricture.
So for almost 20 years?
Yeah. But, prayerfully, and thank God that, and I'm still praying on it, bro, because you know how it is.
Yes.
Dan, you're gonna make me emotional there. But the thing is that I have been going through that the entire time, and nobody, took the time to see if it was of anything other than a urethral stricture. And then when it came back, it hit me like a ton of bricks. But prayerfully, that it is the slowest growing cancer out of all cancers.
God is awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. So I had several choices to make when I found this out. At first I was devastated. Went into a state of depression. Didn't really want to be around nobody. Didn't want to talk to nobody. And I'm still almost that way. I'm trying to get out of that. Because my wife, I told her I was coming over here, and she was like, I said, I'm gonna go to dinner. She said, no. I said, give me a call, and she said, no. She said, 40 minutes, really? Go over there. We're fine. And I'm like, wow. She's gonna make me come over here.
That's good, boy. Hey, look, at somebody those wives, they have that wisdom, huh?
Yeah. She told me I need to get out and get around some people, man. It's just, I don't know. It's difficult to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult.
And the interesting part, because Gary lives around, he actually lives around the street from me. And I told him, I said, bro, anytime you need for me to come to the house and sit, I'll come over to the house and just sit with you. This will be my very first time having somebody this close to me to go through this process. Let me say, this close to me, and we are in the same vicinity, and to go through this process. So I think that all the fellas' heart went out to you, and we all said, whatever you need, man, just let us know. And I think that we were also a motivation for you. While you, even though that we did not know everything that you was going through, man, whenever that he would speak inside of our group chat, it would lighten everybody up, because again, like you said, that you were extremely quiet, and you were going through it with just your family.
And that's not me either, man.
Exactly.
I'm an outgoing person, but I've I've become a little bit more reserved. I try to keep my circle very small, and to the people that that give me some positive, keep the positivity there. Right now I don't need any negative. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Our last week we had our pastor's wife on here, which is our co-pastor. Is that's the same thing that she said, is that she had to eliminate all negativity away from her life. Okay, so now I know that you were over 300 pounds.
Yeah, man.
How much you weigh now?
I was at 389. I'm at 250, 254.
254, and you had to get a whole new wardrobe.
Man, I just came from the mall. When I talked to you, that's where we was at. We was at Potomac Mill, because I went from a size 50 in slacks to a size 38, and they're getting too big. 38 long.
Man, look, you almost down to my size. You drop two more sizes, you're gonna be where I'm at, boy. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so what were the different options that they offered you for treatment for your prostate?
Glad you talked about it, because a lot of people need to know it here. I did a lot of research. I spoke to everybody I could that had it. I went to classes over at Bethesda or Walter Reed. I went to some classes there. I talked to some other experts, and they gave me a choice. They said I was still young. They said that I can do what they call a seed implant. A seed implant is where they implant, I guess, radiation seed inside the prostate, and it emits radiation over time, and it's supposed to help subdue or stop the cancer or make it smaller or whatever.
Okay.
They gave me a choice of I can go through direct radiation or chemo. They gave me some of the choices. I remember those two because I was really thinking about it. I had to pray on it because I also had the choice of removing it, but when you remove your prostate, a lot of people don't understand that the prostate sits at the bottom of your bladder.
Okay.
Your urethra goes through the prostate.
Okay.
And the prostate is the muscle that keeps the bladder closed so that your urine doesn't escape.
Okay.
So when you remove that, you no longer have a muscle. And
wow.
not only that, you remove it, you have to your hormones change, your estrogen increases, your mood changes. It's a mood swing. That's what I'm going through now.
Really? Okay.
Sometimes if you're a quiet person, you become an angry person. Sometimes you're an angry person, you become a quiet person. And they told me that from the beginning.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
I had to make a determination of, do I want to live that way? But my choice was easy. After I spoke to my wife, my choice was easy. If I had went through chemo or either the seed implant, the choices were that over time the radiation would soften the prostate and the material around it. That if the cancer continued, never went away, the surgery was off the table, because now I would have to, it would tenderize and I would bleed out. So I would then have to go through chemotherapy as a last resort. So my choice was simple. I had to get it out of my body.
Okay.
Even though I have to go through the things for the rest of my life, some of the things that I'm going through, I had to get it out, because to me, I chose life.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Because if it's gone, and I have to get my PSA checked every month. At first, I was getting it checked every 2 weeks. Now it's every month, and then after my next, I can go every 6 months, and then eventually I'll go every year. As long as I can get a negative reading on my PSA, I'm good. I'm clear. But if it ever comes back, then I have an option of the radiation.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you chose to have it removed.
Yeah.
And because of having it removed, you also have secondary options if it returns.
Yes.
If you had the radiation,
Yeah.
there was no secondary option.
Well, the secondary option was chemotherapy.
Okay.
But you couldn't get the surgery. You can't remove it after that.
Aha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
now the area has been is now tender from the radiation.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
any surgery and cuts would bleed out.
Okay. 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 Got you now. Got you.
So I limited myself.
Yes. Yes. So you limit yourself. Okay. So now you have the mood swings. How is that affecting your everyday life?
Oh man, it's difficult, because sometimes I have to catch myself. My wife will have to leave another room, and she'll say, "You know what? You need to take a time out." Because sometimes I can become very angry for something that's small, something that I would never get angry before.
Do you recognize it before?
I do now. I didn't recognize it
at first.
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you explain on how that the mood swing is, or how that it affects you so easily?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it's because of the chemical change in my body, because the prostate also produces certain chemicals as well for your body. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. That's where babies come from. I mean, the fluid that creates the semen, that comes from the prostate. That's what makes the semen move.
Look, I'm in school right now. I'm being taught right now, because I did not know that. Okay.
Well, I didn't either, brother,
Okay.
until I went through what I went through. But I have right now. I had get some help with some medication, with some mood swing medication. But I have learned to recognize it, and I put myself in timeout. You know, especially when it comes to the grandkids, my kids, and so I'm less tolerant of I've become less tolerant of small things, things that I could stomach before. I can't now. I'm very non-tolerant.
So now I gotta ask this question, because I got young grandkids myself. So what's the ages of your grandchildren?
I got one that's 16, 15. I have two that are 5, one that is 4, and one that is 2.
Okay, so do the younger ones get on your nerves faster now?
No, they the only ones get over.
Really?
Yes, man. They the only
Now,
ones get over.
this up, man. Listen here. My two are 4 and 3, and about to be 5 and 4. I had them for a week and I couldn't handle it, bruh.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you and your mood swings, and
Yeah.
they survived the mood
They
swings.
know how to get around it, man. They know. They know, Papa. If they start to cry, I'm done.
That big old
Yeah.
tender heart come in.
Yeah, man. I might be a big fella, but I'm a teddy bear, man, for real.
Okay, so what is something that you encourage men to do that went through that actually gone through this 20-year process?
Bruh, what do I encourage them to do that have gone through that
No,
process?
So
Or to eliminate having to go
to
through that?
eliminate going through this 20-year process.
Well, I would say you need to get your prostate checked. A lot of men don't want to do the prostate check because you have to do the finger, two-finger anally, and it's very uncomfortable. And
Yes, it
if
is.
you are a man's
Yes, it
man, it kind of messes with your ego a little bit. But look, I'm gonna tell you, it's a life or death thing, bro.
That's true. That's true.
Once
That's
you
true.
reach the age of 40, I suggest that you need to get that checked regularly. That and your colon.
Okay, so I tried to go get the colon done, but of course, when I hit the age, it was during our COVID, right? So,
Yeah.
so I had to take the home test, where you have to send your sample in, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't heard anything back. So I guess
That's a good thing.
that's
Silence is consent.
a good thing, right? But when they thought that I had prostate, dude, I think I went through 15 doctors, and the last doctor was a female doctor, and she was the worst.
Yeah.
I-
But I'm gonna tell you, I can tell you some of the symptoms, man. Let
Hey.
me tell some of the people what to look for.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I didn't know, it gave out the same symptoms as urethral stricture. Your urine stream starts to slow. It slows down. You don't have a steady stream.
Okay.
And then eventually it'll start to trickle. Then you have to kind of push your urine out because it won't come out on its own. Then, but that also is a symptom of swollen prostate. So even though you might have those symptoms, doesn't mean that you have prostate cancer.
So that means that you had some ill-advised or some immature doctors checking on you, because you would think automatically if those two are two symptoms that go hand in hand,
Yeah.
if you check one, you should also check the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right. But I had the urethral stricture. I had surgeries on that, man. When they get to the point where I couldn't urinate, I had to go to the doctor and say, hey, man, y'all got to do something. I need that relief. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is for women, but for us,
Yeah, man.
that is
painful, bro.
That's look, ladies.
Yeah.
That is one of the most painful. If you want to see a man fall to his knees and cry,
Yeah.
and mess with that area for us. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So okay. So what are the other symptoms?
Well, that's the main one.
That's the main ones. Okay.
Those are the main ones. Is a weakened stream, urinary stream, a trickling, and then someone having to force it to push it out. Because remember, the prostate is your urethra goes through the prostate and it sits underneath your bladder.
Okay,
So
okay.
that has to open in order for you to urinate. So if it's closing off, it causes a trickle or slowing of your urine. So that's one of the issues. Something's wrong with your prostate when you start having some issues with urinating.
Okay. So did you ever get fatigued or anything like that, or did you find yourself in pain?
Oh, pain, yes.
Okay.
Most definitely. Pain, abdominal pain.
Okay.
Abdominal pain, lower back pain. Lower back pain, usually a lot toward my left-hand side, lower back. Sometimes it gets to the point where it's so excruciating, no matter whether you lay, you sit, you go on the floor, there's no relief for it. Sometimes you had to. Yeah.
Wow. So the Green Mile. Remember when
Yeah, that's right.
remember that he had prostate cancer and he was too afraid to go to the doctor to get it checked out. So if you ever want to have an understanding of what he's saying, is that you can go watch the Green Mile if you haven't watched it. The Green Mile, when one of the correction officers had problems urinating and it would hurt so bad. So and then that was a true sign of him having prostate cancer. Yes.
Yeah, it sure was. But I got in that. They had to do 2 surgeries on me.
Okay.
Before they could do the prostate removal, they had to correct the urethra. So I had to go in and they took skin out of the inside of my mouth and they cut out the bad section and they had to create another urethra with the skin from the inside of my mouth. And that was the first surgery. And then once all of that healed, then they had to go back in and then do the other surgery for a removal.
Dang, wait for everything to heal. Oh man.
Yeah,
Good
and
Lord.
that's the scary part.
Yes.
Because, in my mind, I don't know it's slow growing. I just know it's there. And I'm not getting anything done as far as treatment. Besides the point that I'm gonna get it taken out, but I'm like, let's get it done now. I'm anxious.
I will say that that's probably one of the bad things about the militaries is that you can't go back and sue them for malpractice because it's no way that all those years you had it while you were still active duty that they should not have been more aware, or that they should have been more aware and more understanding. So hold on, you still come here for the same thing over and over again. So we should be checking something,
testing everything
to
make sure that everything is cleared, that it could be. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If there's a possibility, if it's one thing that we need to, take that off the table. Let's put a check in the box.
Right.
But they never did that. But fortunately, I was even at Lejeune too, and that it could be a problem with the remember the water thing.
With the water issue, that's
there's
true.
lawyers now that contact me because they knew I had prostate cancer, and they knew that I had been going through this since I was even active duty from the time of Lejeune. And usually prostate cancer, that usually don't happen till after 50. I was at 38 years old, 37, man.
And at what age did you retire?
No, I retired at 38. Let me
Okay.
back that up.
Okay.
It was 35 or 34 is when it started. That's when it started because I had done several surgeries before I retired.
And how often had you been stationed at Camp Lejeune?
One time, early 80s.
Early 80s. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Early
And
80s.
so if you guys are unfamiliar with what he's saying, Camp Lejeune has been proven to have had untreated water, and it had untreated water for about 10 years.
Yeah.
For about 10 years that the residents on Camp Lejeune, where that it was military members, their families, civilians, contractors, anybody that was on Camp Lejeune and they were drinking the water, they had been drinking tainted water. And to my understanding, if I remember it correctly, is that when the government found out, they actually hid it.
Yeah.
They actually hid it. And the reason they hid it because they knew what the ramifications was immediately once it came out. And then I don't know how it was uncovered because they never said how
There were
it
some
was.
people that had been trying to, that had passed away, that their family was trying to get something done about this. It's been for years, and it wasn't until the current administration that they recognized and say, "Hey, we need to take care of those families."
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's how that it actually came out. Is there anything that we missed, or anything else that you would like to share?
No, I think that it's a team effort when things like this occur. You have to lean on somebody because you can't go through it by yourself.
So that's a great point. Tell everybody what kind of backbone was your wife to you at that moment?
Oh my God! I mean, she is my backbone. She's my left lung. She understood, and she at that moment she said, "Whatever we have to do, we got to do." She went with me on every class that I went through. She sat through it. When I was at my lowest, she was there to comfort me. Even when it came to the point where I didn't want to speak to my children because all of them wanted to be involved. But I just I'm kind of a private person when it comes to stuff like that.
I think that most men are. I think that women are quicker to actually speak out about it and to seek a circle of support. Fellas be like, no, I'm going through this by myself,
Yeah. Yeah, I had to pray about it, man. I had to pray about it because I hadn't, it was just difficult. Yeah.
Wow, awesome, bro, awesome. Well, look, hey, as Gary has said, is that as men, is that we should go and get our regular checkups, and go get them, and even when we feel that something more is wrong, or we feel that we're not getting the proper treatment that we are owed and that we pay for, is that hawk until you get what you want, because the doctors are there for us. That medical staff is there for us to make sure that we are informed in what's going on with our bodies. It's their profession, it's their level of expertise. They should be helping us getting the correct information and also doing the right treatments when it comes to us getting the right treatment for whatever is going, and also getting the right information. So, Gary, I definitely want to thank you for coming and sitting inside the studio of Sunday Conversations. Hey, it's since the pandemic, it's been hard to get people inside of the studio, but that's okay. But I'm glad that you came, and I'm glad that you have informed us about prostate cancer. Look, hey, I know that when I retired, they thought that I had prostate cancer, and like I said, I went through 15 doctors, and all 15 doctors did the same exam, and I think that my last one was this female. I think that she enjoyed it a little bit too much. I'm telling you, bro. I'm serious, man. I think that she enjoyed it a little bit too much, man. But definitely, fellas, look, like he said, is that if you are a manly man, when you got to go get that check, that is something that you don't want to get, but you got to get it. Yes, sir.
I want to add to that real quick. I remember when I had to go get it checked, I saw a doctor, and when the doctor walked in, big brother, and I was like, he wanted me to. He wanted me to prepare and get ready. I'm like, no, Doc, we can't do this one today. And,
did you feel intimidated, bro?
Yeah, man. But he said, look, and it was unprofessional of him, but he said, well, if they ask you, tell them I did it. But we as men,
but he understood it. Yeah,
he understood. But we as men need to get this done. We need to swallow that pride.
Yeah, true.
And get home. If you got to curl up in the corner and suck your thumb or whatever afterwards, do what you got to do. But
Yes, bro. But look, it is uncomfortable, fellas, but it's needed. Okay, it's needed. Hey, our wives, our significant others. The women go through far more stuff than I would, because if you ever hear a woman talks about going to get her yearly, she would tell you that it is the most uncomfortable thing, that it's the most uncomfortable checkup that they get. Yeah. Okay, so but again, Gary, hey, I want to thank you for coming into Sunday Conversations and actually sharing your story with us, and I look forward to you continue to heal. You are continually in our prayers for your healing, and even as our pastor, she just celebrated 10 years of being cancer free. So I look for that same achievement for you, and many more to actually come. And I definitely will continue to have you and your family in prayer, because even as you go through, but the most interesting part is that God is our maker. He has the ability to correct every single thing that science say that can't be corrected. So he is so as we say that he is the potter and we are the clay. So look, my prayer for you would definitely be that God come in and that he restore your health back to whole. And I know that you're trying to keep down the weight, because he told me that a couple weeks ago. Man, look, I'm loving this weight because I ain't been this size in years right here.
Yeah.
So, but definitely, man, you are in my prayers, and I just want to thank you for coming to Sunday Conversations.
Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. Everybody, thank you for watching Sunday Conversations. Hey, I hope that the fellas that are watching this, that you are fully informed about colon cancer, about prostate cancer. Hey, it is a process. It's a check that we need. Listen to Gary. Listen to the knowledge that he have. Listen to his experiences that he just went through himself. And don't be ashamed to go and get your checkup, because it is needed. And I just want to thank everybody for watching watching Sunday Conversations. Hey, I'll see you next week with another cancer story. Until then, everybody have a blessed day. Peace. Thank you for watching Sunday Conversations. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next week as we continue to bring you relevant content. Remember, God has a purpose and a plan for your life. Live life intentional.